Hey everybody, and welcome today. Woohoo! First live stream of the day. Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex. And of course, hope you guys are going to have a good time. Let's get into it. Very nice, as I said, very nice. And yeah, welcome. And don't forget to subscribe on the way in. Smash the like button as well. And let's go, man. Let's go. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be covering many topics, which is always good in crypto. So we're going to get into it. Of course, here we are on Hex.com. Now, I've got to keep reminding myself to keep talking about Hex.com because that's what this channel is mainly about. So obviously, check it out and get into it, folks. Hex.com, and of course, make sure you do your investment due diligence if you're new to Hex. Hex community is ginormous, so definitely get into that and become part of the growing community. I've also got a how to buy as well at the top right there, so check that out as well. And yeah, amazing returns, amazing community. Get into it. And of course, you're going to get a copy on the Pulsechain. And Pulsechain, check out pulsechain.com as well. It is amazing. And of course, it's going to be taking over crypto, this chain. You're going to get a copy of your Hex on a Pulsechain. So you're getting a 2-for-1 at the moment. We're going to look at the Hex price later on. It's a very attractive price to entry. And of course, we always say dollar cost average because markets go up and down. So it's a great place to be. So check out pulsechain.com and hex.com. The links are in the video description. Thought I should get into that. But we're going to start off with the stock market. But before we get into that, of course, we're going to get into the chat and see who is in the house. That's how we roll. And, of course, let's go. Check my pulse in the house. What's up, Superman? Woohoo! Hey, good to see you. Check my pulse. Good evening, Hexkin says, check my pulse there. Hex Token channel member too. I think RH will have Alpha and Bravo teams on the fork checking for vulnerability bugs. I like your little bugs there. Caterpillar as well. In fact, I haven't seen a caterpillar outside for a long time. That's some crazy stuff right there. Some caterpillars there, some funny looking insects, but they're cool to look at for sure. All bug is a vulnerability, says Caltex. True that. And potentially, so yeah, better twice than once. We got Ted Nelson as well, Hex Token channel member. Superman, thank you for the daily knowledge dump. I look forward to your stream. Hey, Ted, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. And, of course, Katie in the house there. Woohoo! Another Hex Token channel member smashing out the emojis. I love it. And, of course, I wish the studio would show them up the right way with StreamYard. I think StreamYard needs to work on that a bit. So I'm not sure how that's going to happen there. BDC in the Matrix. Let's go, boy. And good to see you in the house there, BC. Hex Hodl in the house as well. And, of course, Hex hodling the Hex. That's how we roll. And, of course, Crypto Dan. Hi, guys. Good to see Crypto Dan. Craig's in the house there. Jen Hex is in the house. And, of course, always good to see Craig back on deck. I guess you're going to have a show coming up this weekend that you've recovered from Las Vegas, no doubt. And Crypto Freedom in house there. Good afternoon, Superman. Hey, good to see Crypto Freedom. Hex Token channel member as well. Yeah, like Crypto Dan, yeah. And, of course, Wookie says, thinking it's lucky Superman is back. We're all about to get wrecked. Yeah. Hey, look, yesterday, my second live stream wasn't on because I had an appointment. Had to go to an appointment. I couldn't get back in time. But I did post our video after that. Brennan says, howdy, Superman. I was having withdrawals. Says Brennan, that's hilarious, man. I love it. Oh, that's so cute. That's so funny. All right, so Genuine too. Good to see Genuine. G'day, mate. Good to see Genuine and Blobfish King as well. Very, very cool. Scott in there. Good morning, Scott, to you. And John Davis. Woo! How do you get them emojis? You have to become a Hex Token channel member. You hit the join button. We've got Pulskins, Hexkins, and Richard Hart Club. And, of course, it's just a modest way of supporting the channel. But you get extra perks through that. Just hit the join button. Become a Pulskin, a Hexkin, or the Richard Hart Club member. Very, very cool. Also, if you're in Discord, you also get colored names and a private chat group and all that sort of stuff. Uniquel's in house. Hey, Superman, thanks for what you do. Hey, it's a pleasure, man. It really is a pleasure. You guys know that we're in pretty much the best community on the planet in crypto. We have the best founder, Richard Hart, and I think that we're only getting warmed up. You know, a lot of people get concerned about the charts, and I understand big pullbacks, but when you're in a Richard Hart's community, you know, you shouldn't be too worried about that. Obviously, not investment advice. But Richard Hart drops little alphas here and there that you should keep your ear to the ground to. And of course, he dropped a few of those at the Pulse conference there as well. Jen Hex says, Hex Token, I should be back on Saturday. I tested positive for the bug. I see. Yeah, that's the problem when you go into into very close quarters. I guess that's what happens there, Jen Hex. We wish you best fast recovery there, Jen Hex. That's right. Wait for more, Hex says Jim Rat Crypto. I like what you did there. Jim Rat Crypto. Very, very cute, man. Hey, keep up the great. Hey, we got two streamers in the house there. We got Craig from Gen Hex, and of course Jim Rat Crypto as well. Big shout out to you. Keep up the great work. Just like here on Hex Token channel, spreading the word about Pulsechain, Hex, and of course all the great projects on top of it, like Cosa, Hedron, Maximus. Of course, get out there. We love your work and keep it up. Great stuff. Big shout out to Sam Stolt out there as well on Jim Rat Crypto show. Tim Top in the house there. What's up, Hexons? What's up? Hey, good to see Tim Top. Let's get into it, folks. Here we go. So we got the market update. Yesterday, obviously, massive day, 4 to 5% down. Of course, with the the inflation rates, and we've been talking about that for weeks. And of course, it came in slightly higher, but the market has obviously it puts a bit of fuel on the fire for the Federal Reserve, and so the market pulled down 4 to 5%. So definitely got the volatility that we were looking for. Now we've got. Let's get into the actual markets here. We've got the Dow ends higher as investors put inflation report behind them. Obviously, Tuesday being a slightly better day. And, of course, let's have a look at the results here. We've got the Dow Jones. Remember, the Dow Jones is the top in 30 industrials in the US. That index was up 30 and, of course, just up slightly 0.1%. But at least it didn't go down another day. Typically, these things can go 4. If there's a rout on it, it goes down 5%, another 5%, another, it goes like that, 7, 8%. And so that's what we don't want is this cascade decrease all at once. That can really hurt the markets, even with buyback reprieves. So there we are. We had 31,135. So at least it eased off. It's sort of stopped in its tracks. So that's really good news. The S&P 500, 3,946, up 13 points there, 0.3%. And the Nasdaq with all the tech companies in it is up 86 points. And that is 0.75%. And remember, that went down 5% yesterday. So it's only recovered a little bit, but that's at least it's stopped the rout. It hasn't gone day after day after day. And of course, we're at 11,719. Now the VIX, which was up massive yesterday, that's pulled down 4%, down to 26. That VIX is the volatility index. And of course, typically when there's risk off the market, in other words, people not investing and are taking the money out, then that goes up. And of course, it's nice to see that pull back. The dollar index, which increased a little bit yesterday, is down a little bit versus the trading partners. And of course, that's at 109, just down slightly. Excuse me. So nice to see that. And of course, we've got the futures still open. The futures there. And of course, they're looking green too, which is positive. Very cool. But hey, we're not out of the woods. We're going to have volatility. We've got the Fed interest rate rises coming on the 21st September. Put that in your calendar, 21st September. And that's going to be the big play there. I suspect that we're going to get a probably pretty decent rise that we're going to talk about in a second. Let's go to the commodities. We've got the Brent oil there. Was just up slightly, 14 cents to $94.66. And, of course, you can see in the chart there that that's gone up over the last day there as well. But if you have a look at the last month, let's have a look at last month on the chart there. You can see that we were much higher back up here at $104 back on the 30th of August. We came down to about $87 here, and now we're back up at 94. So that's going to average out for the inflation, and we'll see how that plays. But at least it's not over $100, not over $110, not $120, and certainly hasn't reached $150 like some of the scenarios were looking like at the time. So it's lucky to pull back there. The gold is at 707, and of course down $1.75. Not performing particularly well, to be honest, at this stage. Silver there at $19.61. That is up as well. But remember, both of these, of course, are used in a lot of, not just for luxury items, but a lot of it's used in technology, for gold and silver. So they've certainly got productive uses as well. All right, so that's pretty much it. Soybeans down about 1.4%. That's the markets. So let's get into it. We're going to have a look here. So US stocks wobbled on Wednesday, but ended the day higher, a day after the market rout induced by a hotter than expected inflation report for August. And of course, you can see the actual numbers there. The consumer price index representing inflation, and it's a basket of goods that people buy. And of course, you got the actual result came in 8.3. The forecast was 8.1. So this was the nominal inflation rate. Obviously, the core inflation rate was the one that really surprised, and I think that was at about 6.3. And so the markets took that particularly bad. Remember, the core inflation excludes food and energy. Obviously, food and energy both have been key drivers of inflation. So either way, it wasn't higher than what markets expected. And of course, the markets decided to panic and do a nice little sell-off there. The Tuesday's sharp drop there, tech sold off 5%, was the worst since June of 2020. And so that is pretty decent in the scheme of things in the short term. Investors had hoped a cooler inflation report would encourage the Federal Reserve to act less aggressively on interest rates as it tries to tame inflation. Now the market is expecting the central bank to raise its benchmark by 75 percentage points, which percentage point, 0.75 percentage point when it meets next week. And there is increasing sentiment that the Fed may raise rates by a full point. And this is interesting. So yesterday when we had this number, people were thinking that we might raise by 100 basis points. In other words, push the federal funds rate to 3.25 to 3.5. That was 20% yesterday. That's gone up to 25% today. So that's pretty interesting. And of course, that's going to be happening on September. The meeting is on September 21st there, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll look forward to that. But that's definitely more aggressive. We really don't want 100 basis points. That's going to put more volatility in the market than people were talking about in November. What interest rates will we get in November? Like I say, if they do 2 rate rises and they get us up to 4% on the federal funds rate, that could possibly be livable. You got to remember retail rates are even higher than that, and so you got to take that into account as well. And that pain comes into the housing market. And of course, the housing market's showing cracks already all over the place. So you see how it sort of just can cascade. Now, if obviously the real bad scenario is if they keep raising interest rates to get that 8.3 inflation rate down through 2023, then of course the market asset prices are really going to basically go down because the inverse related to the interest rates. So that doesn't mean every asset, but it definitely means the market overall could have massive decreases in valuation, which you're talking maybe wiping out 30%, 40% off the market if the rates go high enough to try and actually tackle the nominal inflation rate. So we'll be keeping a close attention to that. Like I say, we're moving from an environment of cheap money to more expensive money, and at some point, it can cause heavy recession. Remember, it's a very blunt instrument. So when they're talking about we may fall into a deep recession, these guys really don't have that much control over it. So they're using a very blunt instrument to do that. And of course, at the moment, so far it's been on the lower side. They've been late to the market. Remember, they thought inflation was going to be transitory when everyone else knew it wasn't going to be for the most part. And these guys were still, these and the liberal commentators were still going, it's going to be transitory. Everyone else was going, no, it's not. And of course, that's what happened. So you got to be careful who you listen to out there, as we always say. All right, so Fed officials in recent weeks have said that they would do whatever it takes to tame stubborn inflation, even if it means pain for the economy. And of course, they don't have control over how much pain that's going to be. And of course, things cascade once they start going down the hill. So that's why I got that roller coaster. If you saw the roller coaster icon or thumbnail I've got on, that's because just like that, you can have a good time on the rise. on the town, it gets a bit tricky there. Some people like it, some people don't like it. It's going to be a bit crazy. While gasoline prices have fallen from their peak in June, food prices continue to climb, pinching household budgets. Another inflation measure, the producer price index, dropped 0.1% in August from the month before, meeting expectations. Yeah, just back to that food, by the way. A lot of the food that's been around the world at the moment is from last season. This season, we've got major issues with food supply coming up for the next season, and so that's still got to play out. So it's things like that that are not often easily visible unless you're looking for that information. Another inflation measure, the producer price index, dropped to 0.1% in August from the month before, meeting expectations. So that's a good thing. That's more around the wholesale side of things in terms of price inflation. That's actually a positive there for lower inflation. Transportation, seen as a sector of stability, has been in turmoil with a looming railroad strike as administration officials scramble to avert the shutdown. So you may have seen that in the United States there. So let us know in the chat if you are familiar with that. Union Pacific Corporation shares fell nearly 4% on Wednesday, and Norfolk Southern Corporation fell 2%. That's probably a pretty big deal. One of the main transport mechanisms there. Tech stocks sold off sharply on Tuesday, and some continue to decline on Wednesday. Meta Platforms, the Facebook parent, is down 1% after falling more than 9% the day earlier. Starbucks Corporation shares rose 5.5% a day after telling investors it would expect a double-digit revenue growth in coming quarters. Good to be Starbucks, eh? Hopefully they'll stop with the woke nonsense and everything will be good. Retail sales are expected to be out Thursday morning. Now it's pretty big around. The Fed will be looking at this too. What's retail doing in terms of buying demand? Remember, it's all about supply and demand there versus inflation. So retail sales will be out. They've got a forecast of 0.2%. Previous was 0. So hopefully we'll do well there. It's the kind of thing, you're doing well for retail sales, but you don't want so much pressure feeding into the Fed models. Expect to be out Thursday morning. Analysts looking for an August month-over-month gain of 0.2% of increase in retail sales. So that's pretty much it for the stock market. Let's get into the crypto, how the crypto markets pull back. So the route did stop for stock markets. Let's see what it did for crypto. Obviously, crypto here starting to make a recovery and had a pretty big pullback. What was ETH at about $1,760, something like that. Went all the way down. Looks like it's coming on the comeback here. Obviously, ETH merge is coming up. So today, we're here. We're here, folks. We're here. 15th of September, at Kiwi time at least. It's coming up. And of course, it is, what time is it in the US there? US is still 10 to 8 o'clock in the evening on Tuesday. And Los Angeles, they're way back. Are you kidding me? Los Angeles, are you serious? Is it only 10 to 5 in the morning? 10 to 5 in the morning on Tuesday. That's crazy time difference. That's some serious stuff right there. Yeah, it's currently 11:47 a.m. here on Thursday. So I'm talking Wednesday, I mean, not Tuesday. On a Thursday here on 11:47 a.m. So, yeah, they're still on Wednesday there. All right, cool. We've got BTC there at 20,260, up slightly. And, of course, the crypto looks like it's doing a bit of a little recovery there. Nice to see ETH up there. And, of course, ETH merge is coming up. BNB at 279. Just trying to see whether there's any standouts here. Raven there. Obviously, Raven doing well. Obviously, thinking about picking up some miners from the Ethereum there. So Raven doing well. And, of course, I guess Ethereum Classic's probably doing well too. Can't see Ethereum Classic around here, but it's probably doing fairly well. So they're picking up some of those miners. Well, obviously, Ethereum is looking to do the merge. So the miners need to find a home. Obviously, there's also the so-called proof of work stake fork. We'll see what happens there as well. Haven't heard much about that myself recently since the time. Now, this is the merge coming up. This is a huge juggernaut event. Remember, Ethereum is the main chain on the planet. It's very valuable. At the beginning of the bull market, it controlled about 85 to 90% of the smart contract business, which is pretty much the heart and soul of crypto outside of the Bitcoin store of value brand. And, of course, here we are. Obviously, that's, probably less now with all the chains that have been part of the boom market. With all the EVM chains and things like that, but there's still a juggernaut in the space. And of course, what we have is that we have the proof of work mechanism, and this is where the miners are all getting paid, right? Some ridiculous fees during the bull market. And of course, we got the chain, beacon chain there on the sideline, and it's been confirming chains there, confirming blocks and transactions in parallel to the proof of work network in preparation for the dock here and the move of Ethereum to the full proof of stake. So Ethereum stake transactions, apps, contracts, balances, the whole galore is, and this is happening today. So we're this panda here, right in the middle here. This is where we are right now, and it's going to be pretty fun. We're at the junction of the move from proof of work to proof of stake. So in crypto, this is kind of a day of history. In crypto history, this is a major milestone. Obviously, it's going to make proof of stake make Ethereum environmentally friendly. So that bodes well for the future branding. And yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. Let's have a look at what that means and how far away we are in terms of the ETH merge. Currently, we are 6 hours away, 6 hours and 5 minutes. Now, there are a few calculators out there, but they're all 10 minutes apart from each other pretty much. So we're at 6 minutes here on this is Watch a Guru ETH merge. I'll post this in the chat. Bam. And you can check that out. That is in the chat there. So there it is there. I'll put that up there. Bam, there we are. Okay, so this is what we're on there. Now we're estimated block remaining, 1,525 blocks remaining here. Predicted block is going to be 15,537,272. And of course, predicted date here is today. So we're 6 hours to go, folks. And of course, exchanges and things like that have all been preparing. We can see that we're racing up here on the network difficulty. Racing up towards this target at the top here, the 58,750. So we'll get there in the end, I guess. So cool. The long-awaited Ethereum merge event will occur once the terminal total difficulty of there's a huge number is hit, and of course this total difficulty updates with every block mined and can be tracked using the graph and block tracker on this page. So that is the tracker there. It's looking to track this target here at the top here. So we're moving towards it, and of course we're only got 6 hours at that gap. That time gap's about 6 hours. So very cool. That's when we're happening there. Now I've also got obviously the beacon chain. So we talked about the beacon chain operating there in parallel, doing its own, confirming the blocks, testing itself. These are all being tested on the merge itself has been tested on the Ethereum test networks like Gorilla and things like that. We covered that, Gorilla, I should say. And of course, they pretty much did a lot of shadow testing as well and ironed out any little bugs, transaction issues, and things like that. So they're very confident that they're going to make this merge will be successful. There may be some minor issues potentially, but they seem to have been testing all of that. So only 6 hours away, a big day for crypto. And of course, because of the beacon chain, we can jump over to the beaconchain.com, or beaconscan.com, sorry. And of course, we can see the network participation rate here, just ticking along here at a pretty high, 96%. So it's just ticking. So 6 hours from now, it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch. So if you want to watch that, you can also watch these two sites. I'll post the two sites if you want to watch the merge. So those are probably two pivotal sites. The one here with the timer, and of course the beacon scan as well, for watching the beacon chain, which you can see in this diagram is this thing here. So we're moving this thing here. It's going to be the full proof of stake. It's going to be exciting, very excited. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. All right, so that's pretty much it. It's a bit of a summary for the ETH merge coming up. And of course, the crypto market, ETH is there moving up in price at the moment, up 3.6%. So we'll see what it does. It may very well hold up after the merge. The merge may be seen as a great triumph. And of course, if it's successful, then we could see a rally in ETH price. And because we didn't really get much of a second wave, it did go up in price, but it's kind of course BTC was leading the way. But hey, we might very much, it seems like a reasonable probability to me, at least for a day or two. We have got remember, we've got a short space of time between now and the federal funds rate increase, which is on the 21st. So if it does, it might do a day rally, something like that, 2 days. We might be lucky. Be surprised if it can hold up during the Fed's interest rate rise. But hey, it was crypto. We will see. But yeah, I'd be surprised. It's going to be a lot of drama on the markets around the Fed interest rate rise on 21st. So let's not fool ourselves with that. But once again, there's the outside chance it does particularly well, and maybe just ignores. But I don't think so. Probably still capitulate. But it might have a day or two, a good day or two in the office for the next day or two. So we'll see. It's a great celebration, regardless of what happens with the price. If it's successful, of course, and looks like it, or most likely will be, given all the testing that's been done. All right, cool. That's pretty much that. So we're going to jet into the markets, though. So let's get into that. We've got a couple of comments to make in the. We're going to get into the Hex markets. Let's get a couple of comments in the house first. What else there? Let's go into some of the comments. Blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. Is that the Superman theme? Did I just do it? Was that close? It was close. Da, 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 da. I should get that up, actually. What's up, Hexkins? To the top, that's where I got up to. GRC, says Craig. Liquid Loans testnet with Hexcat tomorrow on Cinnamon. Yeah, so I'll be doing Liquid Loans testnet later on today. So we're all going to have fun with that. It's so good to have Liquid Loans dap out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Astri says, woo, good morning all. Good to see Astri. Tail Stevens as well. Been having fun with the Liquid Loan testnet. Yeah, it's a really, I just bit my tongue, but it's a really, really big, really big dApp, and it's got lots of features. So we're going to have fun with that too. I'm going to do coverage of that. It's going to be so much fun. Crypto Artie says, woohoo, exciting times. Pulse Hexkin Nation, set your alarms. I like it, Crypto Artie. That is true. And of course, Kristen Collin there. Hello, Crypto family. Good to see you, Christian. Dave says, Hex sitting idle, waiting to pump. Yeah. Hey, look, this is a great time. Obviously, we may get the bottom of the market in September, October, November. It's kind of what we're thinking there. And of course, that assumes that we don't continue to get interest rate rises into next year. And then maybe way up and away we go after that. but it's a good, fairly good time to dollar cost average into Hex. And people talking about Hex, Richard Hart, indicating that the bottom is kind of in. Obviously, he doesn't know everything about what's happening in the future, but his best estimate there is that's his kind of position. He's been telling one or two people out there about that. Hex sitting idle, waiting to pump. Yeah. So good time to spread the word about Hex and Pulsechain. Bugs in house there. What's up, family? Good to see Bugs. And of course, Wookie as well. Hi, hit the like, guys. Absolutely. And Jim Rat Crypto's on the show on 7 o'clock East Coast. Nice one. 7 p.m. is it there on the East Coast where you are? And 5 p.m. in the West Coast where KD is there. Nice one. 4:49. Superman. I'm not Superman. Says Crypto Freedom. Good to see you in the house there. Rango in it well. Good morning, all. Om from there. Good afternoon, Hexagons. Just tested some liquid line testnet. Nice one. It's great to see all you guys testing the test network. It's so cool. I'm going to be looking at that a bit later in the live stream. We'll get up to there in a minute. Sandy Beach in the house. Hey, good to see Sandy Beach. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Who else there? The merge should be considered with your second stream if all goes to time. Yeah, it should be pretty much around my second live stream later on today, about 5 hours time or so. All you streamers deserve respect for your dedication, and a special shout out to Corey because he didn't deserve that yesterday. Oh, I'm not even sure what happened to Corey. What happened there? Actually, we're no drama channel, so we can't talk about things like that. So Hex Token channel is a no drama channel and a family channel, so we can't talk about things like that. I just realized that almost broke my own rule. Stevie D says, hey, all. Good to see Stevie D. I love all the streamers and Hexagons, Sandy Beach. Precisely is in the house as well. Hey, Briz, yeah, boy. Hey, hello, everybody. Who else there? Almost up to date here. Hexodl. I'm very excited. Me too. I'm very excited. War Dog too. With this low ETH gas fees. It won't lower gas fees particularly or make it particularly faster. It's just going to move it to a proof of stake, so make it environmentally friendly pretty much. But that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Hey, Briz, says Brennan. I think we're up to date almost. We're up to date. Michael's in the house. Michael, another Hex Token channel. Hello from the Philadelphia. Man, that's a cool city. Oh, good to see you, Michael, in the house. And Wookie as well. Having fun. All right, let's get into it. These are the Hex charts. Let's go. Powers from above. All right, so here we are. We got what was that about? We got the Hex price here at 3.68 cents. So really pull back here from this 4 cents. We're sitting around here for about 16 days at 4 cents plus or minus. And of course, we've come down with the market here down to 3.68 too, which is not too bad. The low for the day. Let me just full screen this. The low for the day is 3.55. So if you picked up, that's pretty nice. And of course, we came down with that big market pull down. So it hasn't been really immune to that at this stage, but at some stage it may do. And of course, Richard has hinted to that in his last in a keynote speech that maybe when the rest of the market's down, maybe Hex might just perform like it did before. So interesting little alpha drops there. I'm just paraphrasing. Of course, you can go back and hear the original version of that. Maxi, of course, is up at 2.9 multiplier, so you need 2.9 Hex per Maxi, and that's looking pretty good. We obviously pulled down too with the market, and then some people probably been selling a bit of Hex into the perpetual pools, the base trio, Lucky and Decimus. So that's cool, but very nice little discount there on the premium. Was up at 2.15 there as well. Right, what else we got there? We got Hedron there. Hedron, actually, we're not. Before we jump to Hedron, let's go to have a look at the base numbers on the dashboard. So cool. It's great to see Dipcatcher and Golkey streaming every day. Big shout out to those guys for what they do. It really is impressive. Let's have a look at the results at the moment. Obviously, I'll be doing day 10 results today. So I'll be doing that in the second live stream as well. So catch me then for that. So we have the ETH merge and day 10 perpetuals. We got the base here at 19.62 million in the base. That's how much Hex has gone in there. Going very well at this stage. Because we expect a late run after the 21st in September when we have the federal funds rate rise. We're going to have the perpetuals are kind of still be going. So they'll be in their third week, and they finish on at 0 UTC time on September the 27th. You can see that up here. So that's the minting phase. So we've got a few days into there. Maybe we'll see a late rush into these pools at that time. I think that's a reasonable expectation, and it's based on what we've seen in the past there with Maximus and, of course, with Watson and things like that. Base there at 9.262 million. So these have come up really nicely, particularly since the diamond hands yield has been announced. And of course, that includes penalties and some mysterious airdrops. And that could be pretty lucrative. The base, of course, is going to be the first one to be able to capture those. So a year later, if you're staking base, you'll be the first ones to capture some of those mysterious airdrops and things like that. And of course, any penalties because that's on a 12-month cycle. That has finally hit 1,000 T-shares. So that's in dolphin class now, or dolphin class. I was going to make a dolphin noise, but that's just insane. Why would I do that? Seriously, why would I make a dolphin noise? I'm not doing it. I want to, but I'm not going to do it on live stream. All right, so we're at 12% on the APY there. Trio, the 3-year Perpetual. This has got 18.85 million hex in it so far, and that is a dolphin class there, 1,310 T-shares, and of course sitting there at 16% APY. The lucky, of course, is the 7-year, and this is the interesting one. This is the one that's coming out at the very beginning in 2023 there, just before all the big stakes, and so it's in the first month, I think, of all those big stakes coming out that people have staked for 10 years. So that's a very fundamental position, and it adds a lot of value. If the price of Hex is very high at that time, then these guys have the access to that at the beginning, if they so choose, of course. And that's currently sitting 16.91 million in there at the moment. So we'll see whether people pick on that. Now, it obviously depends whether you're playing the long game or the short game. So if you're a long staker, then that's definitely going to bode well in the future there. Now, obviously, that's got 1,747 T-shares there in the dolphin class, just under 24% APY on there. And, of course, that excludes the diamond hands. So you're getting the diamond hands. The APY could be pretty sick, pretty lucrative, but that's not investment advice. That's just saying that. The Decimus there is the 10-year stake, closest thing to the Maximus one, the Maxi one. That's got a massive 71.6 million already in the pool. And of course, we're coming up on the end of day 10. So cool. Now we got to remember the launch is a bit longer than 21 days. I think it's about 21 days, 17 hours, something like ballpark. So we're still going along from there. So 71.67 million hex pooled there, and we've got 9,361 T-shares. That's very close to a shark stake. So it's at the top of the dolphins, almost into the sharks there. I need to recalculate that, but it's getting pretty close. I haven't actually double checked what the exact number is, but it's over 10,000 kind of where I'm assuming there. And that's pretty much 9,361. So it's getting pretty close. At the 30% APY, that's actually gone up. So they've gone up there. So that's nice. And of course, that excludes if you're doing diamond hands, and the yield could be way higher, particularly way higher. We will find out. Obviously, no expectations. 127 million hex has gone in so far. Woo-hoo-hoo. So we're targeting what, 600 million? That's like a base reasonable target. Means 150 million each for the bigger pays better bonus, and we're currently 127. Let's do that divided by 600. So we're currently at 21.2%, and that's good, pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this pace, and it's a nice catch up in those diamond hands. Diamond hands there, definitely adding a lot of value to these APYs. I wish we could put them in. If we only knew what they were, we could add them in. But hey, this is the way it goes. Now, this does assume a hex payout of 6.3 hex per day. Now, obviously, once we get out to these wide, longer stakes, that payout's going to be a lot higher, folks. And of course, all the modeling we've seen from the Crypto Sparbook guys and other sites has shown that that's going to be much higher. So this is just conservative in my view, based on well, not quite today's rate, but today and a bit of penalties in there because the rate's about 6.12 or something like that. But it's going up all the time. All right, cool. The team minting snapshot, 37.7 million team in here. This is terrific, man. This is really, really terrific. And of course, let's do a quick bit of maths on that. 37 million 0.7 divided by the total supply of 293.3 million. And of course, that gives us 12.85% of Maxi is now in the team wallet. That's impressive at this stage. Coming up to the end of day 10 in a couple of hours. That's fantabulous. And the massive staking percentage is massive. 28.87. I guessed at 70%, and let's see what this is. 37 so far. Of course, people can still stake. Got plenty of time. It's 76.5, so really high, really high. So looking good, and I suspect it could probably even get higher than that by the time we finish all said and done. Team contract there, Maxi there, 37.7 million Maxi. Now, remember when Maxi goes into the team minting to mint team, the DAO token for Maximus, remember that's very much a DAO token. So it's designed to benefit from the ecosystem as it grows, new products and new airdrops, things like that. There's the mystery box out there, so it's designed for that. Now, at the moment, 37.7 million maxi in there. 20% is burned, so that means it's off the market for good. So if we take that number, 7.54, we divide it by a 293.3 million, which is the max supply. That's almost 2.6% is in the burn, and of course it's going to be a bit higher. We're only in day 10, and of course it's going to be higher by the time we finish day 21 plus, and so it's going to be cool. The 30% goes into the 369 maxi rebate, so that's year 3, 6, and 9. This will be redistributed to the team holders. So the team holders up here, that's one of their rewards, and of course that's 11.3 million, looking really good. That's effectively off the market for 3, 6, and 9 years, and of course most of that's in the later years. 1.6 coming out in year 3 there, so that's really off the market as well as the burn. If you think about it, not burned completely, but you won't see it for a long time. So that's kind of cool. See you later. See you in year 3. See you in year 6. See you in 9. All that stuff is like friends that are in a distant shore. You can wave to them, but they're not going to say much back to you. What did he say? Didn't say much. So it's kind of cool. The maxi mystery box, of course, the mystery, 18.85 million maxi in this, like a boss. That's pretty impressive, right? And this is only going to get bigger. And yeah, it's going to be bigger than the Hedron deployer soon. I'm sure it will get above the Hedron deployer. Still a bit of work to do to get to there, but feeling pretty confident about that. Now, the cool thing is, you guys know my spreadsheet. I have been looking at the top wallets and breaking them down. Well, fortunately, Dipcatcher has made it easier for us, and he's added a team minting leaderboard on here so we can look at. And of course, you guys have known on my spreadsheet, we've been watching these big players. And of course, Dipcatcher's laid this out really nicely. And we have the addresses on the left there, the minted team that people put in there, the team staked as well, the team liquid, and the maxi balance. We've got everything in one spot there. Beautiful. Thank you, Dipcatcher. Love it. And of course, here we are. We've got all these leader wallets. Here's all the big whales. And we can see some of the bigger whales have moved as well. They've put a certain amount of team minting, but they've kept a lot of their maxi. So this is their maxi balance here. So this one here put 2 million in. They kept 2.5 million, and so on. So this one went all in 2 million, and it kept only got a little bit of maxi. So you got some people that are going 100% all in on team. You got some people doing a 50-50 strategy. There's close to a 50-50 there. So you know, it's you're seeing that sort of behavior going on there. This one's still got their stuff liquid here. Maybe they're playing the short game on the premium. We will see. As opposed to a long game, I'm getting the rewards and the yields there from that. Remember, there's four rewards, but I suspect that the team reward will probably get pretty juicy over time as the ecosystem grows, particularly, and of course the mystery box out there as well. Who knows what that will do? But apparently, one of the benefits that you get is a mysterious drop. So I don't know, just link the words maybe. So pretty cool there. We got some pretty big players. We got lots of players left to go. And I'll talk about that in our second live stream later today when we do day 10 results. We'll deep dive into this spreadsheet, but also into my spreadsheet, which is we got a snapshot and we are watching the big players in the million club. Remember, almost 30% is in the million club. So people that got a million maxi or higher, 30% almost they control of the maxi supply. So that could go into the team, and of course some of it at least, and of course the Hedron deployer there with what 27 million maxi is as well. Let's see whether it moves. It's moved on a couple of accounts. It burnt a million maxi. It was very benevolent. It's done Hex Hedron liquidity at least twice. It's removed US dollars out to Coinbase. Who knows what for? You guess. And then of course it's who knows what else it will do in the future. The Hedron deployer. So it's going to be fun to see that as well. All right, cool. That is pretty much happening there. Let's go back to the charts and quickly check the Hedron. So Hedron here at the moment pulled back down yesterday. What day is it? It's just over. So this is a new candle, I think. So we're just yesterday it was as low of 2,971 on Hedron, back up to 3,272. And this is pretty much in the ballpark. Particularly Randy Alasky called this price zone. So big shout out to Randy Alasky. Talking about 3,200, does seem to like this sort of area. And of course, mine was slightly higher at 3.5. So mine was 3.5 up here. Randy's is far more accurate there. So good call from Randy. And yeah, away we go. Let's see how we're going. Obviously, we've still got just under 2 months, just a day, say under 2 months until the big HSIs come out. tens of thousands of T shares up for grabs, massive Hedron burn, massive ICOSA inflation, and pay up the stakers. That's coming up 13th, 14th November onwards. So that's going to be this chart's going to be pretty fun all the way. And because of that gap, though, there's always the chance of a dip, a pullback, and there were big extra returns sitting in here. We had some negative market news, so down the market has come. That's markets, folks, and welcome to Parabolics. So cool, that is looking good there, but nice, not a too bad entry, I guess, at this stage, given what's coming up ahead. Though it's basically reached the support area here at the moment. So I guess if it decides to move down again, it could go down to, say, somewhere like 2,500 if it decides to. Obviously, we've got the interest rate rises coming on the 21st, so anything's possible here. Maybe not out of the woods necessarily, right? And there's still big people in here with big extra returns sitting down here that would be happy to sell. Remember that if you've got big extra returns, they're happy to sell. At the moment, the market's happy to be here around this 3,200 given the current climate. So cool. Let's get into the rest of it. So let me close down some of these ETH merge stuff here. I'm going to close all these down. Bam, bam, bam. I'll leave that one open. Bam, and close that. And, of course, that's pretty much that. So let's quickly go to ICOSA. ICOSA there at $1.20, pretty much tied to the Hex price there. We're going to go to the BNB charts and have a quick look at this, see how they've fared during the night. And, of course, we've got Pulse Dodge there. It has pulled back down. It's down at just over 4/10 of a penny, 44 hundredths of a cent. We've got P33 there, made a little bit of recovery there, 10 cents. Not doing too much, though. None of these looking too hot here. And, of course, we have IM there that's bounced off 5,700 to 6,600 there. So not too much to see there unless you're going to make a speculative entry. But there's a lot of volatility coming up potentially with the interest rate rises. So I'd be careful at this stage in these ones, despite the possible opportunist speculation opportunity there. It's up to you, though, what you do. But this is what I feel about that. Let's look at Pulse Dodge Coin. Wow. So Pulse Dodge Coin, obviously with the negative market news, come down here as well. And, of course, broke the $3, sort of $2.95, $3 support. $3.10, somewhere in there. It's broke that down, now down to $6.70. It's been as low as $2.61 here. And there's no really clear pattern in here about where it could go. The only thing, of course, that it does have its what am I saying? It does have its dual token system coming up soon, and this is probably the next play once that does come to market. So we're looking forward to that with the Pulse Dodge Coin plus Pulse Dodge Bitcoin there dual system. I think it's going to be a little different, and I think it's probably not too far away. Like I say. When I say that, could be a week away, who knows? But we're waiting for that one very carefully. The entry at the moment, $2.68, not too bad. Remember, the launch price was $1, and what was the low price of this here? I think it got down on day 4, got down to 73 cents. So issued at $1, down to 73 cents there, currently at $2.65 there. But it has got the big dual token system coming out. We'll see what that all means. You're going to need Pulse Dodge Coin for it in some capacity, so we'll find out. But the other thing, of course, was the excitement that we had with the weight token, OMG. Of course, the Coast announced the bringing of another stablecoin to Pulsechain. And, of course, hey, look, this is great news. Now, they've got to execute. Apparently, they've been working on this for a year, getting around, trying to understand, getting around all the regulatory things. There, obviously, it's going to be non-custodial stablecoin, the Coast stablecoin there. And, of course, I did a video on that yesterday. That bodes very well. Now, they still have to execute, right? They seem like they're an intelligent team, but they still have to execute, and get around a lot of the hurdles. They're obviously doing a lot of their cost is not actually in development, but it's more in the legal and process side of things. But they're looking at bringing stablecoin to Pulsechain, which is a good thing. Now, there's 4 different main classes of models for stablecoins. And, of course, we've talked about on this channel. I think we're going to have the 2 best ones operating on Pulsechain, which is the Liquid Loans USDL, which is an exogenous stablecoin, algorithmic, decentralized. And basically, that's because it's USDL stablecoin is based on the Pulse token. So that's why it means exogenous, means external to the actual Liquid Loans DApp. And that's going to bode really well. And, of course, we see how well it's working on Liquidity. when Terra Luna collapsed, the money went into liquidity, and that has been working like a boss there, actually at a premium of about $1.02 to $1. So it's above the peg. So that's been operating pretty well. And of course, we suspect that will operate very well on Pulsechain, especially as it launches near the beginning, 4 to 6 weeks after Pulsechain launches. We're expecting that stablecoin. We need our own native stablecoins on Pulsechain. It gives us a lot of protection, gives you risk management, and of course, you have nice stable pairs there versus US dollar. So it's going to be good. The other thing, of course, is this the Coast one looks really, really positive too. And yeah, they can execute. Then we're going to have a fiat back one instead. So that's the other good model that works, obviously, is a fiat one, like USDC, for example. But this time, it won't be based on any middleman, as it were. There'll be no custodial. It'll just be the administrator. Coast will be the administrator. But the actual funds will be locked up in another bank account that you control with a banking partner of Coast. That's pretty much the way I understand it's going to work. And, of course, the market rallied up. Market rallied up big time. So the market went from 0.5 cent. I was waiting for the news, right? Waiting for the news. And, of course, got the news, got the 2.2 cents. Can you believe it? A really nice play there. And, of course, we probably saw quite a bit of people minting their weight token. Everyone was just waiting for the most part. There was only like 6% or so that had been minted. But we've probably got a bit more minting out there at the moment. And, of course, then we got the sell the news. And so we sold the news here. And the other thing about the news was that it's going to be tight. It's going to take time to execute. So they're looking like they might have the stablecoin, the first sort of round of things done by October, the end of October, maybe November, something like that. But they said definitely before the end of the year. And then, of course, they've got time to bring that on to Pulsechain. So with the fact that there's time there, the market's just eased off, I think. And obviously with the bad news in markets, probably played a little bit of play there. Currently at 1.2 cents, which is holding up pretty well, actually. If you think we're worth 0.5 cent on the weight token of 1.2, that's holding up pretty well at the moment for the moment. So cool. Watch out and see how that goes. But that was a big announcement from the Coast team. And we want that sort of alpha projects coming on to Pulsechain. Going to add so much value. And having a secondary stablecoin going to be epic. So we wish them well. We don't obviously, they seem like a good team. They've got 2 Australians and 4 Americans apparently. And we wish them well in that. Obviously, I don't really know who they are. But they seem to be very articulate and very passionate about what they're doing. So we wish them the best there. All right, cool. Let us get on to the wildcards. Wildcats, as it were. I'm just going to make sure I get up to all these things. Yeah. So we've got PZN at the moment. PZN was holding up pretty well. The market moved down, and this thing hardly moved, PZN. I was really impressed with that. And, of course, it's currently at 9/10 of a penny. Got as high as 1.2 pennies there. And it's got the breakout on there nicely. So that chart's looking actually pretty good. So congratulations to PulsePot and Stressful Struggle and all those people in our community that championed this one. Obviously, the people, these are wildcards. So these are not part of the Hex ecosystem, Pulsechain directly. These are made by members in the community. So these are wildcats here. I don't typically go into too much detail into these. I mean, basic summaries. But once again, these are more speculative plays, and obviously the Richard Hart tokens are the place to be over time. So need to think about that. Dodeca, on the other hand, has had massive drama with Dodeca and some unfortunate behavior, stuff here. And we're going to quickly cover this. We've got some news, of course. Dodeca here. Now, obviously, I said normally this, just by its natural self, it will tend to wind down over time. And, of course, the people that got in early on the sacrifice at 8 cents, they are still in the profit here. Even at 12 cents, we're coming all the way down to 12 cents now. We did actually recover up to 56 cents, remember? Went down to like 18 cents, 50 cents, and down we are at the moment. And, of course, the big news, of course, is that Dodeca here had this vulnerability. And we talked about it yesterday briefly. We didn't have enough detail, but the actual site has come out now, the Dodeca. A critical vulnerability in the Dodeca crypto has been brought to my attention because Dodeca is immutable, and without admin keys, the system state will need to be forked, bugs fixed, and then contract redeployed. I'm sorry for any inconvenience this may have caused. Obviously, people that hold 369 Dodeca earn Hex dividends. There's also a burn function there. And of course, they can be fairly lucrative there. So cool. That is the update from him. So it's good to see them up front. I mean, it's unfortunately this happens in crypto, but this is a speculative asset. Like I said, we don't compare this to the Richard Hart type of projects. which you kind of see as the gold class. So you remember, if I always say, if you keep most of your bags, obviously it's up to you what you do, but typically keeping most of the bags in the Richard Heart ecosystem with the derivatives, with the main Hex, of course, and Pulsechain coming up. But there's always a bit of stuff for speculation. This is one of that little 5% speculation type thing. Some people put 90% of this stuff in speculation. Unfortunately, you got to be very careful. This is why we say don't do it. Nevertheless, because these things do happen. I think the person was trying to do best intentions, but this is the way it goes. I know a lot of trolls go out on these people, and I don't really like that. We don't know drama channel, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I just don't like that stuff. Obviously, there's a proper scam that's been clearly identified that's different, but with this one here, it doesn't seem to be the case. And so we're going to scroll up to the top here. 4 hours ago, my DMs are reopened. Productive and important messages only, please. Dodeca still works as intended, other than the malicious actor middleman attack on deployment. So that looks like the breach there. The 1% of the tax, which was supposed to go to an ownerless Uniswap V3 pool, actually goes to the scam token service address control. Then they have dumped the Dodeca they received. So that was what happened there from the person there. So just worth considering there. Once again, this was speculative, not just in the fact that it's had a vulnerability to it, but also because these projects normally they just cycle down, the best intentions, but some designs are just not that great. And the other thing, you need to keep the community up as well. So that's Dodeca for you. Let's jump over to Trayvon's one more token, and of course you got a Trayvon's one here. Went up to dollars. We were down at 85 cents. Went up to $1.40, $1.39 here, and then we're back. Went down to 88 cents and back up to 98. So if you like to, I got the roller coaster thumbnail. If you like the roller coaster ride, then you got to, that's welcome to crypto. Some rides are bigger than others. Some rides are more fun and adrenaline, but some rides will also get you wrecked as well occasionally. So anyway, this is more token at the moment, 98 cents, not too bad. Obviously, Trayvon leading that, and he's a pretty big YouTuber. So yep, that is pretty much it. We're going to add silver tooths once to this one. This is more a fun section, so I add this for a fun section just to see what's happening with the community ones here. Like I say, the main game is here with Hex and Maxi and Icosa and things like that. Things that are building off Hex and staking Hex out for a long period of time. Like I say, we're talking with Hedron's HSIs. You're talking about in excess of 600 million Hex staked through there so far. Terrific results. Maximus, you're looking, you're looking at over almost 450, heading up towards 450, maybe 425 on million Hex on the Maxi stakes, and this could go much higher. So you're talking about in excess of 1 billion Hex staked in using these projects, and much of it arguably may not have been staked in the current climate. So that's really powerful, and of course, getting Hex off the market is circulating supply is one of our key priorities, and that's basically introducing people to Hex, getting Hex staked. This is the design, reducing the circulating the critical mass of Hex, and obviously that benefits the wider ecosystem overall. And of course, Maxi in particular is offering cheap gas fees as well, which is making sure a lot of value stays in the people's hands, particularly the small retail player, and that's a huge upside too with the staking pools. So it is a more efficient way of staking, and I think that's pretty self-evident there. All right, so cool, we're looking good there. So that is the update from Dodeca. We're going to have a quick look at PulsePot. Let's get into that, and let's find out what's happened with the auctions here. We've got a few of them in-house. So we've covered the Pulsechain ones. We've had the BNB auction, the BSD auction, and I think the cake roulette one just closed, and we've probably got the BNP roulette opening one there. So let's have a quick look at those, and we're going to scroll down there. They've been doing some nice little giveaways as well, little teasers here. Random viewer in the chat there, 50 BNB cake. So it's pretty cool. Let's have a look. We're going to have a look at the results here and see. I think I'm going to go to the actual site here. Creator. Let's go to creator here. Pretty sure we're going to get all the ones here. That's not the one I wanted. I've got to go to PulsePot creator. This one here looks like went for no. Are you kidding me? Are you get out here? Get out here. Are you really? Is that really how high it was? No, 40. And let me have a look here. So what they won at 2.9. Price is 40. That's some crazy stuff right there. All right, so let me just. I'm trying to find the bids here. Let me go to bid here. Bid history. Minted. Oh no. That's why I want to go back to this one. PulsePot. Yeah, I think that's the one I want. All right, cool. All right, so this is the one I want here. All right, so we've had where we're up to now. We've got are they in order? They've got the Pulsechain ones here. What's this one here? Alpha JPEX here. So we had the BNB one here. BNP. Sorry, BNP is up at the moment. That's currently it's got 21 hours and 32 minutes to go. It's 1 ETH. And so watching that one. Then next one up is going to be the ETH roulette on BNB, which I suggest will be very, very popular. So those are coming up too. So those are those things coming up at the moment. So this is the live one on the BNP one there. So that is live. And have we got any bids on that? No bids yet. Be the first to play. So no bids on this one yet. 21 hours and 30 minutes to go. I'm not actually that familiar with BNBP actually. Obviously BNB there, but I'm not familiar with that. Maybe that's an issue why there's no bid on there yet. Then we're going to have the ETH one up, and I think this is the final one, right? 21 hours. So the ETH one there, 21 hours to go on this one. So cool. Have we got any bids on that? No bids on that one yet. So I guess it's coming up. So that's cool. Let me just quickly check this last one, the one we just had closed, the pancakes one, the cake one. And I think that's gone for 2.9 ETH from the looks of it to much love Heinz, which is I guess is referring to Heinz crypto there at 2.9 ETH, so that's $4,700. So not bad at all. All right, so cool. We're looking forward to this. This is speculative as well, but these guys are innovating at the frontier of decentralized casino iGaming. So we're going to follow this project. They're going to launch apparently now in October on the BNB chain. Obviously, their intention was to first launch on Pulsechain and then go to the other EVM chains. But of course, Pulsechain not here yet, so they're launching on BNB, which is great. I'm excited about that. Now they're launching on 5 chains at least. So if you sacrificed, there's about 1 million tokens, 100,000 for the launches of on each chain. So if you're playing, you're going to get a bonus of PLSP tokens, and we're looking forward to it. So they're going to start off with the PulsePot game, and then of course roulette's going. They're going to have price games and much more. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, cool. That is the PulsePot update. Let's get into liquid loans. Before we do liquid loans, we are going to get into the chat and catch up because I've probably been a little while since I've got in the chat there. Let's see who is in the house there. We're coming at 58 minutes, which is not too bad. And typically, we're going up to about an hour and a quarter, so works well. Hope people are enjoying the short format videos as well. I've had a lot of positive feedback about short form videos, so it does seem to be good. There's some people like short form videos, some people like live streams. Just the way it goes. Some people like both. Let's jump back here. Oh, lots of comments in the chat there, so it's cool. Man, you guys have been killing it in the chat there. That's absolutely amazing. Hey, welcome everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, hit the bell. And if you want to join the channel there, hit the join button. Pulsekins, Hexkins, and Richard Hart Club. Those are our 3 members there. I actually bought some crypto today, by the way. Now, I normally don't talk about my positions, but I did buy some crypto today. Just letting you guys know. I've taken the opportunity to pick some stuff up there. Now, you can guess which one I picked up. Feel free to do that. I'm not going to confirm or deny, though. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so we've got Oomph in there. I think we got up to Oomph before. Let's jump up here. We've got up to Brenton as well. Stevie D's in the house. Maybe we got up to there. Yeah, T Time says I'm here too. Who bought Hex today? Well, all I'm going to say is I bought some crypto today. So that's all I'm going to leave it there at that. Sandy Beach says we have the best community. We accept all, even shy people like me. That's true, Sandy Beach. That's true. Debbie says, does Sir when Moon launched a Pulsechain, Sir? I would say one day closer, Sir, but I think obviously the earliest time now is probably Christmas time. But I think a lot of people are pretty resided to possibly the first quarter of 23. So it's kind of a time zone there. Richard's definitely wanting, well, I say definitely, I don't know his mind, but it definitely indicated, I use the word differently again. He indicated that he's, looking for the bottom of the market as well as technical delivery from his team. Obviously, with the fork going on, they'll be looking at all that stuff too. So yeah, that's probably the earliest time frame at this stage I can think of. People jump on Hex, buy, take advantage, says Christian. That's true. Dollar cost average, and good to see Hedron level out, says Crypto. Yeah, I think so. 3,200. Yeah. Sandy Beach in the house there. I am an introvert, says Lo. What else? Sorry, I definitely a sensitive Hex can take it to the heart, says Crypto Arty. Hey, everybody's welcome. Sensitivities as well. What else? We're going to jump through some of this. Crypto Art says, I love our community. We are blessed. I like that too. We are indeed. And Astro Flipper sounds. Yeah, I was going to do a dolphin sound, but I decided to pull back because I couldn't quite think of it exactly at the time. Hey, shy people rule. All right, let's jump through some of that. How many trio I need to mint to be a one T-share? And precisely says, since Dicky has 4x more X than others, this proves to me that people value the really long stakes the most. And Hexol says, yeah, those are pretty strict at the pharmacy. All right, we'll jump through some of that. What else there? So look here, I'm an excellent pharmacist. I try to help everyone. Nice one, Sandy. All right, let's jump through some of that. I see there was a lot of private conversations, so I'm going to jump through a lot of those. Crypto Artist says Decky and Team to premium races. Yeah, that's pretty true. I think Team's going to be pretty attractive. I think that the game is really between Decky is definitely a part of the game, but I think that really between Maxi and Team. I think that people are trying to decide that, but I think the Team is going to be pretty lucrative myself. I think it's going to go higher due to train strikes, says Christian. Yeah, that could be quite big. Jumping through all those comments. Speeding through this now. We've got a lot of things about ice cream in the chat there. I guess you guys got some priorities there. We've probably got the ice cream truck. I don't know if they're going to start up again. They were here in winter, which is kind of crazy. Hexotter says we are still covering Dodeca rug like they do Luna. Says Hexotter. What else got going there? Hey, it's just happened, Hexotter. I think you're a bit too quick on that one. Real Hexicans unaffected, says Hexotter. One has to audit the audit, says Hexotter. That's true. What else there? Hexotter says, quick pleb, not to check the code yourself with the address of the audit prior to deployment. What's it? Who watches the watches? Who watches the watches? Says Briz. That's true. What else there? Lies beneath in there. Hello, how are you? Hello, Hex, EHEX, PLSX for the win. Absolutely. And Dodeca definitely helps you with that one. Cool. What else have we got going in there? It's quite obvious what is good and what is not good. Did you guys actually see the South Korea issued a restaurant for Duquan? Really? Oh, that's pretty interesting. Bad boy watcher corner to what they come for you. Yeah, I like what you did there. I both live and I do. Oh, you like the lives and short videos, says Brennan. Oh, nice one. He's taken long. You are more private than me, says Sandy Beach. Yeah, true. All right, so let's get into it, folks. Liquid loans, man, crazily good stuff. And of course, Matt did a great job of this. Huge love there. Look at that. And of course, liquid loans on Pulsechain. Watch a comprehensive walkthrough. Liquid loans front end debt, which is available. Obviously, a lot of content creators are going to be covering this. I'm going to be covering this probably today, but we're going to have a look at it here. Look at it, beautiful. I think it's a great job. Obviously, this is the biggest sacrifice on Pulsechain, over $50 million, and huge participation rates in this. And what else can I say about this? They spent a good amount of time getting this UI looking good. They're still seeking feedback as well. I think you can go to the support tab and do feedback. But really, really cool. I did just a little preview of this yesterday. I'll be doing a full, play around sandpit play around on this. But they've got to start here with the how-to videos. Looks pretty good. You got the day night. So if you like the day and the night, you can take your pick there. the loan token USDL and PLS at the top there. Love that. And of course, they got their product stuff here, which is really, really cool. Liquid Loans is the first truly decentralized lending protocol, built specifically for Pulsechain, algorithmic stablecoin, low 110% collateral ratio, no payment schedule, immutable, government's free, and no admin keys there. So that's pretty cool. Borrow USDL, 0% interest free, DeFi liquidity on Pulsechain. This is your vault, and of course, they've got all that in there. So you can, this is the heart, of course, you put your PLS in, you get the stable coin out. So it's pretty nice. So I'm going to play that around this on a different video. Obviously, we're coming up to 10 minutes left or so for this one, but we're going to have a whole dedicated time to this. Stability pool, they got that too with the USDA stat USDL. Get some rewards. We all like that, man. This thing's going to be really quite arty, and I suspect we'll get some of the large players on here too. Obviously, with the lots of them sacrificed as well, including the Hex Godwell, who doesn't get his loan tokens for 2 years, if you remember. And I think we're probably going to have around something like 25% of the supply out straight away, and then maybe not all of that stakes either. So maybe 80% stakes, let's say that. So that's 80% of 25%. So that's going to be not too bad in my view. Redemptions, of course, redemptions there. Liquid Loans unique, important features there. Liquidations there. So we're going to have a list of liquidations, risky vaults. So that's cool. If they get really risky, liquidate. Click, liquidate. So pretty cool on that. LBP points there. Sample only. So your wallets, your all wallets, stuff like that. Analytics looks pretty cool. So a number of USDL. These are charts become really important. The people will be watching these pretty much. Now you can see some of these operating on obviously Liquidity over on Ethereum. So if you want to check out live stuff that's been going on Ethereum, you got to remember that Liquidity though launched years after Ethereum launched. Yeah, just remember to take that into account. I think it's much better launching at the beginning of a chain, moving up with the value of the chain. So it's cool. And of course, Liquid Loans designed to pump the chain as well. And if we get some large syndicates of thousands of investors, man, who knows what could happen with the Pulsechain. But of course, you have to be on Telegram for that. There's a knowledge base, of course, goes to a different website. That's cool. And of course, you can check out all the details on that, all the details around the loan tokens and stuff like that. So it's pretty neat. And the validators, obviously, Liquid Loans is looking at being a validator. I suspect that they could end up being have a good chance of being the biggest validator. I know that at the moment on testnet, David Feder and Hodl and stuff are, and How to Pulse might be pretty big too, really. But I think that Liquid Loans kind of has a utility advantage, and we could see some very large holders doing that through them. We'll see how that plays out. Not a certainty for sure, but definitely just seem a decent chance of that. Let me know in the chat what you think about that. And of course, the support, if you want to give feedback, any enhancements and something that you think that it could add or this or that, they've got some a ticketing system there for that, which is they took time to build, remember? So that's cool. And a faucet. So if you want to play around on the testnet, you're going to need some receive loan token for your wallet so you can test the Liquid Loans protocol. You have to connect your wallet to do that, and funds you receive for Liquid Loans fonts are not real. To get loan, connect your wallet. So I'm going to do that when I do my live stream. I haven't played around with this at all. So when I do it, it's going to be fun. And I'm thinking about doing it maybe later on, maybe not too far away actually. So if you see me back on live again, don't be surprised. It'll probably be after lunch. I might end up doing a 3 live stream today. That's going to be flooded. So love me or hate me, we're going to be back on again. And they got all the social media. So really beautiful site. Well done, guys. They've taken the extra time to do it. And looks really beautiful, and it's going to be impressive. Look very nice, as we say, very nice. So that is Liquid Loans. So looking really, really good there. Big shout out to Matt, Crypto Casino, Crypto, yeah, something like that. Crazy Crypto, can't remember now. The CEO and all the rest of them, very, very cool. All right, so we're going to get the Hex Daily Stats. Let's do that. And of course, we've got day 1017 hot off the press. Woohoo! We've got 5 minutes to go on the live stream. Man, oh man, it's going to be fun. We've got the price, the 14th of September at day 1017. We head closer to 3 years for Hex, and that is 1095. And of course, once we pass that, we're in year 4 of Hex, year 4. And it does really sound mature, doesn't it? It does sound mature. And of course, like I said the other day, year 7, it's like we send our Spartan child out into the world and survive. But it's pretty cool. All right, so the price down slightly there at down 0.8%, down at 3.67, obviously on the back of the market routes, as it were. The Hex payout, pretty nice, 6.209. And of course, I love that more than someone else that's watching here. Starts with a B, but we won't name names, but starts with a B. Anyway, $886 is the T-share price, up 12.4, which is a decent day after that juggernaut rise 4 days ago at 7.45. T-share rate 24,122. Remember, you can get a T-share for a third of the price if you decide to stake out 10 years, because you get 200% bonus shares there over a 10-year period, 20% per year when you swap your Hex, which gets burned for shares in the reward system. So it's pretty cool. The average stake length, 6.58 years, up from yesterday. Really nice, just tracking up really nice there with the average stake length. Very beautiful to see that. The annual percentage yield rate, yield and emergency in-stake penalties, yield being inflation, 37.98%. The amount of Hex in the pool is big, but of course we get some big buyers and they want a lot of Hex. They've got it there. It's sitting in the pool for them. So let's see what happens there. Liquidity pool, $10.1 million in there at the moment. Obviously, we have it moves by the people buying and selling, but also moves by people adding or removing liquidity. So you can see that on the Uniswap liquidity pools there. We got the 1,090 ETH there as well. Let's jump over to T-shares. T-shares down 2,800. We're sitting at 10,420,000 T-shares. Remember, Hex is easy to understand. We have a reward pool with the inflation in it and penalties. And we have the T-share pool, which is the ownership pool. And the ownership pool owns the rewards in that reward pool. So if there's any changes in these, then the Hex payout per T-share changes. That's pretty much it. So a reward pool, ownership pool, and the Hex payout per T-share is pretty much it. So easy to follow there. Obviously, slightly less T-shares today, 10.4 million. So if you've got one T-share, it's a bit like being a shareholder in a company. You have one share out of this here. For example, if you have 100, getting a bit bigger and so on and so on. So very cool. This is expected to go down over time because the share rate is going up. That share rate is continuing to go up there. So this one here going up and to the right. It's not coming back down. And of course, that means there's going to be less T-shares on average over time. Obviously, more people that we have staking, the more T-shares will go up. And that's so it is going to be a competitive thing as we move in time. But the share rate, I suggest, will be winning out over time, as we've seen in modeling. All right, let's have a look here. So we had a big increase in circulating supply, 58 million, but then a big decrease at 48.8 million. We've currently got 9.67% of all coins staked at the moment. Of course, the large amount of coins sit in the what we call the origin account, sacrifice accounts with the Hex there. And so that's why the percentage is relatively low, but it's pretty good amount there. All right, so the penalties there at the moment, 1.2 million. That's another good day in the office for us TCS stakers if you're staking your T-shares. And of course, then you look doing very well. So that's a nice 2 days in a row there. Let's have a look at the growth in numbers. Hex is still growing. So we're up 70 stakers there to 108,780. The number of wallet holders up 76 there to 310,932. But the big number that we're looking at the moment, we're creeping up to is the 500,000 total holders number. 246 is the big increase today. We're getting closer and closer, less than 5,000 to go. So onwards and upwards that 4,700. So that's what we need to get there. We'll get there with these sort of numbers in good time. So pretty cool. But this is the number that we're really highlighting is the stakers. Spread the word out there, folks. Get out there. Maybe deliver pamphlets around your local block or talk to people in the local area or put stickers, whatever you're going to do. Direct promotions is the way to go. And of course, maybe you're online and some chats or this and that. Drop them a link to Hex. Hey, check this out. Get some stakes, all sorts of stuff. Obviously, it's easier to onboard people that are into crypto. With no coiners, you do have to do quite a bit of a walkthrough. But hey, look, just depends on their level of knowledge. But spread the word out there. Way to go. And Pulsechain's coming at the moment. There's obviously a good pullback in Hex price, so a good dollar cost average entry. And of course, they're going to copy on Pulsechain as well. So bodes well for that one. Obviously, make them do their investment due diligence. We're at today 1,018. We're rocking it. We're ending up on an hour and a quarter, so we're going to wrap up about now. But catch me later on. I'll be back on as well. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I will see you then. The markets at the moment, BC, $20,190. ETH there at 634. We're probably only about 5 hours away from the ETH merge, so it's getting really, really close. Very, very cool. We've got Hex at 3.7 cents there on a green candle. Is that a Hex token channel pump? Maybe. And we've got Maxi at 7.749 cents. And finally, Hedron there at 3,300, up slightly. I think we've got a Hex token pump on the house there to finish the live stream. That's the way that we go. Hope you guys enjoy it. All right, cool. Let's jump out of here. We've got a couple more comments. Just wrap this up. And Arango says, smash the like. Definitely smash the like. Yo Mama says, bought some Hex on my Coinbase wallet. Nice one there, Yo Mama. Rothko in the house as well. Hey, good to see you, Rothko. Hello, hello, hello. And Brendan says, have you given a liquid load test walk? No, not yet. I'm going to do it live on stream. I may be back on live in another hour and a quarter to do liquid loans. We'll see how that goes. What else we got going there? Will liquid loans have an Afron? We don't know if they've been working on that, Ben Hex. We don't know if they've been working on that. They may have been thinking about, they are going to do several services. We may see them expanding their utility operations. That may be something that they're working on. I haven't seen anything definitive about that. What else there? What else there? Katie says, can't wait for the liquid loans tutorial. Hey, it's going to be fun, man. Well, we're going to be doing like a sand pit, so we're just going to be having fun going through all the features. It's going to be cool. DB says, when base, sir? It's coming up. I haven't done base for a while, DB, but it's coming up. Astrid announced that. Let's go. Let's pump it out on the music. I'll catch you guys again soon. I'll be doing a lot of YouTubing today. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. It's going to be a bit of fun. Let's play out liquid loans. No, are we liquid loans? We're going to do liquid loans. Yes. No, we'll do liquid loans later when I finish the other one. Let's do Power City Core. Let's go. Peace out, everybody. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. See you in Discord and see you in the live streams later on. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all your input today. Fantastic in the chat there. Woohoo! Let's go.